Hi, I'm Kassie, and this is my really good friend, Corin. We're doing a little video sharing our experience with our training under Belinda, and also developing into coaches with Belinda's education and training, as well as continually learning and sharing our journeys with each other. So for me, my journey started about 4 years ago.
Probably longer than that, I reckon.
Maybe.
I reckon it's like 5.
Maybe. I can't remember. 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And I had a couple of difficult horses that I'd been through with some different trainers, but not having really any success with that. And I ended up coming along to a Belinda clinic, and was really, really amazed at not only her ability to instruct as a coach and really help you understand that finer detail, but also the theory behind it, that really academic approach.
Yeah.
That's something I'd never come across before. That academic side. And also her attention to detail for each horse and each rider, and that nothing was the same necessarily for each horse. Obviously the end goal, we're looking to achieve self-carriage and harmony with the horse, and always looking at the health of the horse,
the functional movement, what that horse can do at the time, instead of going, well, I want you to do shoulder in, quarters in, half pass. But if they can't even do a straight line, then why are we even trying to perform a shoulder in?
So it was a really different approach to what I'd experienced before. And I have trained overseas as well as in Australia, so I'd experienced a lot of different coaches before. And for me, I knew I wanted to sort of go into coaching myself. I'd already started a little bit, but I knew I wanted more knowledge. And I also found some coaches were sort of, they weren't very willing to give all that information. They sort of withheld information.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whereas Belinda just gives you everything,
there's no ego attached to it. And I think that's really what I found. I went through heaps of different coaches, and some of them were actually Olympic level riders. And I think once I met Belinda and came to a clinic, I was like, wow, this woman, there's just no ego, that she just sat there with like complete beginners to Grand Prix riders, made everyone feel amazing. And then you just left with a high. And that after that, like my first clinic, that I was like, that's it. I'm never training with anyone except ever again.
And also too, for me, I had a pretty hard discovery in my journey that my mare that I had was actually extremely damaged. And some of that damage had been created from training, and of course not on purpose, but it was a really, really difficult thing for me to go through, and of course then reflect upon and think, my poor horse has got to deal with this for the rest of her life. And of course she doesn't resent me for that at all, but for me, I was like, I never ever want to put my horses through that again.
So is that how you ended up getting onto Belinda, because of Joy being damaged, and then you were like, I need to find a trainer?
I actually stumbled across Belinda because the coach I was meant to go see, I couldn't make because I'd been flooded in, and I was actually really stressed out because she was becoming quite violent on saddle. She was throwing her head so bad it was cracking my helmet, and she was quite volatile. And I was quite upset because I was like, I need to help her. And one of my other friends up North Queensland said to me, why don't you go to a Belinda Bolsenbroek clinic? And I had not heard of her. And I Googled her and was like, oh my gosh, sounds amazing. And I've always loved that Renaissance classical background, even just, I guess, the look of it as well, and the history and that. And so I went, and it was an amazing experience. And I am very, very grateful for meeting her. And it's been an incredible journey, and we've made amazing friends.
So that's the community, right? So in 5 or 6 years or something that I've been training with Belinda, is just this incredible community where we feel really safe. to be at our most vulnerable with different horses that we're training. And it's awesome.
And it really, because, I know previously there was sort of always this competitiveness in me that I had to, be better, be the best, or make sure I've improved from this clinic to the next, to make sure that, but I think with the community we have, of course we always want to improve and grow, but it's not in a competitive way at all. It's just wanting to absorb more information and just grow
and learn,
and the support we have, Corinne and I are quite good friends, and we share stories of our own horses, and also things that we might come across that we think, oh, how would you address this,
totally. Or even with our own students, this is happening, what do you reckon?
So it's a really, really beautiful thing to have.
Awesome. And so what brought me to coaching, originally I never wanted to be a coach. I arrived with Belinda and I literally stalked her, sent her this massive message about how I needed her as a coach and that there was no one as good as her, and that's what I wanted to learn and do. And then we had coffee, and then I started organising her local clinics for Coffs Coast. But after my first probably year or first 2 years of training, I was like, people need to know this stuff. There is no one else other than Belinda in our area that's teaching it to help these horses. And then I started taking on some rehabilitation horses for local clients. And then the transformation was amazing, which it just blew my mind. And then I'd get so excited and talk to Belinda about it and go, oh God, look at this. And I'd show her the before and after photos. And then she was like, you should teach it, Corinne. And then it took me another couple of years going, no, I don't want to teach it. I don't want to have to deal with people. That. Yeah, I want to help the horses, but I don't want to deal with the people. And eventually I did, and now I just love it. So, we're like a year and a half deep in my business, and it's been amazing. I've pretty much been fully booked since week one, and I've never looked back. I'll do this forever. Like, I just look at her and, the way that she explains so much to us about what's happening in each horse and the rider and the little tweaking. And that's the other thing. And this could go on forever, but no coach that I've ever come across will also focus on the rider. So they'll either go, all right, I'll focus on the rider specifically, but then won't help the horse. And then there's others that go, oh, we'll just do the horse. But then meanwhile, the rider on top's got other stuff going on, or restrictions in their body, or little tweaking that could help the horse immensely. And I've never had a coach do that.
No, it's not very common. It's not very common at all. So, and to have that full understanding of both the horse and a rider, because some people are very good at, understanding perhaps the rider, but haven't quite got the understanding of what should be happening in the horse, or vice versa. Yeah. And so you've just got this amazing overall understanding, as well as then with the in-hand work. Learning to train your eye of what's right, what's not quite right, and why, and then how we can help it. It's something that I'd never experienced ever.
No. And the communication. So again, like a lot of coaches might be amazing. They might win a gold medal or always get first place in the Grand Prix tests, but their communication isn't fantastic with people. And so then they don't make great coaches. But where Belinda can also ride amazing, as well as teach amazing and communicate really well with people as well. And I think that's what's made such an amazing community.
Yeah. Just really making sure everyone always feels really comfortable, here, and always, you might be a complete beginner, and I know a lot of complete beginners get so nervous. They think, oh, I don't know anything, and I don't even know what a shoulder is, or, and that doesn't matter.
But even the more advanced riders can get nervous too, I reckon.
Yeah. They've got, I guess, you feel like you've got something to prove, I guess, in a way. But it's just been an incredible journey, and I started full-time coaching almost 2 years ago, and it's been amazing. And excuse me. And then of course I've got my own little community now that's developing out of that, and the education spreads again. Yeah. And and then they fold into this community as well. So you just have this amazing network of communities that all support each other. And I don't know, there's nothing else like it.
No, it's not.
So
No.
anyway,
Love it.
yeah.
Belinda Bolsenbroek Academy all the way.